Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's have another look into the Blue Sky Star Soundpack for the toeless A320neo. We are standing here in London Heathrow for flight towards Paris Charles de Gaulle in the British Airways A320. So, in case you are wondering, since I know that flight simmers are thinking about stuff like this, yes, we are standing at a heavy gate. Yes, that is indeed where the flight left in real life the day before I started recording this. So yeah, this is actually realistic as it is. Alright then, this one is also going to have a little bit of a surprise for you guys, but I'm not going to take too much away from it. You'll see it en route. Alright then, let's head right into our airplane and start doing a little bit of our procedures. So, as always, I kinda don't like the default view position here. This is much better if you ask me. And since we flew all the last couple of flights from the captain's seat, how about we do it one from the first officer's seat these days? Alright then, let's go ahead and power up our aircraft. Weather radar's off, engine master's off, engine start selector normal, gear down, wipers off, very good. Voltage above 25.5. Okay, we don't really need any of those lights today. Even though I kinda can't decide, like when I'm looking outside with the lights off, things are rather dark. If I'm looking inside, things are rather bright. So yeah, I think this time we'll just fly like this. Okay then. So let's make a quick decision on our fuel, but before we do that, oxygen is good, hydraulic is good, engine oil quantity is good, and the flap lever agrees, speed brakes retracted. Okay, let's do the alternate brake test. Parking brake is off, the chocks are in, and we can see we've got pressure on the alternate brake system. Perfect. Okay, captain is out for the walk around, then we can start doing this. So, 2.7 tons of fuel on board right now. We'll probably need a little bit more than that. So let's get out the ISCS. So, scheduled fuel for the flight is just about 3,900 kilograms from London to Paris. We're going to take a little bit more because I am expecting some delays over there. So let's take 5 tons of fuel and order the fuel truck. Okay then, time to start our procedures. Actually, no seatbelt yet, since we still have to refuel. Okay then, electrics. Let's initiate the charging cycle for the batteries. Here we go, both of them charging. Okay, and all of this looks good as well. Oh, and obviously, since we're flying British Airways, I should probably put on a British accent. But, to be honest, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not today, thank you. Okay then, QNH 1006, like so. Why did they arm the slides already? I mean, we just started pre-flight. Well, just not gonna think about it. Okay, that's locked. Unlock that for me, please. Thank you. We see anything over there? Yeah, we can. Alright then, not gonna worry too much about it though. Let's start getting our airplane done. So, A320 CFM LEAP engines once again, database is current. Then delete all the previous stuff, thank you, let's go. Uplink our data. And that takes a little while, here we go. That alternate airport is definitely not what I filed for. I filed for Paris Orly, thank you. The rest of it seems correct though. Okay, wind data uplink, fine. Then Heathrow departure, 27 left. And today we are departing on the Maxit 1 Golf departure. Thank you. And arrival into Paris is going to be an ILS approach runway 26 right. And we have the BBUX 9 Papa. Let's see if we've got anything over here. BBUX towards Mobro. We have any Mobro via? Probably do. Yeah, we do. And it's the one with the Bravo in it. Okay, so Mobro 6 Whiskey. Okay, insert. Secondary, we take the engine out, and that's LHRS X4. Thank you. From Heathrow 27 left slash, what's the runway heading? 269 slash 25, thank you. And an immediate return in case we need it. Onto 27 right, active for landings at the moment, thank you. Okay. And that's the lateral part completed. We can store that. And that is the route that we are going to fly today. Looks perfectly good. So then, balance, reset that please. Okay, refueling is still in progress. We might want to wait a little bit for that. In any case, zero fuel CG 37.1 and the zero fuel weight 63.7. So 63.7 slash 37.1. That's quite an aft CG today, but we set it to the aft limit actually, so that is fine. And we've got 5 tons of fuel. Okay, fueling is almost done. 5 tons we wanted, 5 tons we get. And here we go. Okay, fueling is done. 4.8. Yeah, come on, this is 5 tons. But we're gonna increase that. 5 tons, fine. Okay, so that's that part. Let's do the takeoff performance. 27 left in Heathrow. And believe it or not, it's not raining. We are in the UK, it's not raining. Can't believe it. Well, I can't believe it. Sorry. Okay, config 2, down trim 1.6. That's quite a bit of trim. And then we've got flex temperature of 72. Like that, and finally our takeoff speeds 38, 38, 41. Lots of margin, so we can take highest speeds. 138, 138, and 141. Okay then, finally let's get a couple of charts together, currently sponsored by Navigraph. Especially on an airport like this, pretty useful stuff, those charts. Okay, parking stands, yep, we need this one, we need that one, and finally we need our departure as well. We go, Maxit 1 Golf, perfect. Okay. Then let's go ahead and quickly cross-check our flight plan. And when we're on it, we can set the initial climb as well, which is going to be 6,000. Like so. Okay then, let's see what our routing is up to. Runway 27 left, straight ahead, intercept London radial 240 to 5.5 km. That's gonna be the 240 Foxtrot point. And then turn left, 161 bearing from Burnham NDB, cross 7.7 at or above 3000. So that's the outbound Burnham, 7.7, and that is above 3000. Okay, then we continue 9.3 DME London above 4000, max 6000. And we've got the India, that's the 9th letter in the alphabet, above 4000. Okay, 12 DME London, turn right, Midhurst radial 011 inbound, across max it at 6000. Okay, so we've got our turn, that's the Lima point, and then max it at 6000. Perfect. So we can use a little bit of a conventional setup there. Again, it's not required on the Airbuses, but it still is good airmanship to do. Okay, so it's going to be London radial 240 till 5.5 DME. We'll put that on the captain's side, and then on the first officer side we can take Midhurst radial 011 inbound, that's Mike India Delta on 191. For radial inbound, always the opposite course. Okay, and finally we can take Burnham as well. We're going to put that into both radios. Okay, and that should pretty much be our setup. Okay, cool. And that's about it. So, are you ready for the departure briefing? Yeah, go ahead, please. Okay, Heathrow 27 left, max at 1 Golf departure, climbing 6000. MSA and Mora for the departure. Not that high, 2,100 feet, and in terms of extra fuel, today we are carrying 1.6 tons, that's 45 minutes. Okay, cool, so hotspots for the taxi, I don't really see anything on the way out here. We're familiar with the airport, pushback with the nose to the south, and then Delta, Alpha, and we can take it all the way out to the holding point. Gotta be a little bit careful here that we don't cross any of those points, but ultimately bringing us down to any of these. Okay, stop margin for rejected takeoff is 1,455 meters. Engine out, sit on the runway track, climbing to an altitude of 3,000 and keeps it safe above the MSA. And engine out acceleration is going to be 1,590. Noise abatement procedure is going to be NADP2, so 1,090, 1,090. Is going to be what we are going to use over here. Like so. Okay, no speed restriction that would affect us. Immediate return as possible. We are just about close to the max landing weight, so we don't need to worry about that. I don't see any special operations. Do you have any threats for this one? No? Okay, perfect. That's the departure briefing complete, and then we can do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gearpins and covers removed. Fuel quantity. So we've got 4,980 kilograms balanced. Seatbelts. That's a good point. Seatbelts on. 80 IRS. Nav. Barrel ref. QNH 1006. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Okay, let's start up the APU. And we certainly need the pack flow selector in normal today. So, APU starting up, we can close the door. And then let's quickly say hello to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon from Flight Deck. This is your first officer speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of British Airways, you are welcome aboard Flight 304, leading you towards Paris Charles de Gaulle. Flight time today, 45 minutes. Expect a smooth flight at 25,000 feet. Would like to thank you very much for choosing British Airways today. Hope that you are going to enjoy your trip as much as we do, and we look forward to serving you on board. If there is anything we can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew, who will be happy to assist. Thank you very much for your attention. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Okay, that's the passengers catered for. Let's go ahead and get our better pushback. And we can plan a push to the south. Pretty much like so. Okay.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledge. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Yeah, sure. Okay, back to our seat. That's a little bit low, maybe. That's a little bit high. Okay. Something like that. Looks about fine. Okay, and you know what? This is a little bit too dark for my taste, so let's put the lights back on. So, APU is running. Okay, let's get them to disconnect the ground equipment, and then we can start getting our stuff together. So, the parking brake is set. Ground cockpit, please disconnect external power. Chocks are... parking brake set, clear to remove chocks. We are good to go.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, thank you. Please confirm the aircraft is prepared for pushback. Door hatch is closed. Ground equipment removed. Bypass pin installed. Alright, we get ready and call you. So, IFR clearance, let's just take, you know, something random like 4523. Nice little squawk. Alt reporting off. And then they can see us on the ground radar as well. Hey, speedbirds. What are we? 3 Victor Hotel, request push and start. Okay, push start is approved. So, before start checklist. Parking brake,
Okay.
set, takeoff speeds and thrust.
Ready to connect.
Takeoff speeds and thrust, 138, 138, 141, flex 72. Windows, closed, beacon, on, before start checklist complete. Alright then, we're ready to go, and the parking brake is set. Anything happening? They're probably working down there. I called them a little bit late. I should have connected the tuck a bit earlier, then things would have been easier. But here we go, perfect.
Release parking brake.
Brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Roger. Okay, just about waiting until we are beyond the red line, and then we'll start the engine straight away, because engine start does take a little bit of time with the LEAP1A engines. It's not too hot today, just 21 degrees, so that is certainly going to make our life easier. Okay then, you know what, we're approaching the line and ground crew has given us the all clear signal, so let's start engine number 2. Ground cockpit, starting engine 2. Okay, engine 2 start. Around 25% it goes into the bow rotor motoring. At least that's what we called it on the Max. Not sure about the A320neo, if they've got a different name for it. Probably do. Okay, here we go. The start process continues. Basically what it's trying to do, the engine is rather heavy, so the rotor can bend a little bit. So what the FADEC does here is that it simply rotates it for a bit to straighten out again. And if you are doing a turnaround, then it's going to take a little bit of a while until the EGT is reduced to below a certain limit. Okay then, looks good. Engine number 2 is available, engine 1 start. In the meantime, pushback is going well. Should be just about completed here.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Roger. Okay, this is gonna take a little while once again. Can we see anything on the outside? Okay. Looks like they've pretty much disconnected. We could give them the hand signal, but we'll wait a little bit until the engine has actually finished its startup process. Or at least until we're sure that the engine is at least in the self-sustaining range. Okay. Oh, that sounds about like it. Yep, that thing is about ready. Ground guys can disconnect. Perfect. Okay.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. Clear disconnect and see you. Okay, after start checklist. Anti-ice. Off. Ecom status. Checked. Pitch trim is 38%. Rudder trim neutral. After start checklist complete. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Right side clear. Left side clear. Clear signal is seen. Taxi. Okay, brake check. Pressure 0. Right, so straight ahead. Onto Alpha. So we're a little bit heavier this time than we were on the last couple of flights, so we do need a bit more thrust here as well. But that's alright. It's not too much. We'll just about bring it up to 15 knots and then we should be nicely able to go back in idle and the plane should more or less maintain its speed. Maybe even accelerate a tiny bit since we do have quite strong engines in here. Both are alright. Right side clear, left side clear. Okay, let's go on to the second taxiway. I do believe we could go both, but if any of you watching this knows how exactly the taxiway system at Heathrow works, then I'd be more than happy to learn. So if you're screaming on the inside right now like, no, this is the wrong taxiway, you need to take Bravo instead of Alpha, then do let me know. Okay, let's accelerate a little bit. It's gonna be a long straight way, so 30 knots should be absolutely fine. In the meantime, I do not have any updates to the takeoff briefing. Everything is as we calculated, everything is as predicted. So let's do our procedures. Sometimes the speed brake lever really is in the way of the PWS switch there, but that's luckily not too much of a problem. Okay, and as we figured out, once we call them, they are actually ready. Okay, cool. Then we can go ahead with the taxi checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, config 2, radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto, engine start selector, normal, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, taxi checklist complete. Right, so, huge airport, gotta taxi a little bit. But look at that, engines in idle, and something about 25 knots or so. That sounds quite alright to me. After all, we're almost at 70 tons, 68.6 over here, which is quite heavy. We're at a really high zero fuel weight today, because I just thought, well, let's load it up a little bit. We flew it rather light on all the other flights, so let's just have a little bit of fun and take a little bit more payload. So right now, British Airways has 180 seats in their A320neos, and we took on top of that 1,600 kilograms of cargo. Actually, we got 170 passengers, not 180, because I figured, well, they do have this principle of leaving the middle seat free in business class, so even though they have 180 seats, they do use them when the airplane is full, but I figured, well, you know what, let's leave 10 of those free so that we don't piss off the entire business class, and that is how we're going to fly this. Alright, so this looks quite alright to me. Let's see where we are. November 3 is what we can take, so that's going to be after the last terminal. The last terminal is over there, so we got to taxi a little bit further. Over here we've got November 4 Echo. Yeah, we do. Let's see, November 4 Echo. Somewhere over here. Yeah, here it is. So, next taxiway to the right. Okay, crossing Lomond, that's down here. Yeah, so next right is good. Okay, 27 left at November Bravo 3 is confirmed, line up and wait. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Approach is clear, right side is clear, lineup checklist. Takeoff runway, 27 left, fly November Bravo 3. TCAS, TARA, pack 1 and 2 of lineup checklist complete. Okay, ready? Takeoff. Man flight 72, SS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. 100 knots. B1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. The sound set is really good, isn't it? I totally love it. Okay then, autopilot, you can fly just as good as I can. First climb, climb, auto thrust. Flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Beautiful scenery out there, isn't it? So, left turn onto the radial 240 outbound London. Until 5.5 miles, we can follow through on our needles here as the airplane flies it. Flap 0. Speed check, flap 0. So, knowing the UK, at this point we will probably get radar vectors straight over the green line. Now, I'm not gonna do that. Instead, we'll just say they cleared us to climb all the way to flight level 250, which is gonna be our cruising level. Open climb, 25,000 blue. So, come on, you gotta turn a little bit stronger. Now it noticed. That's done that. Then I cross-check passing flight level 65. Now, check. Okay, 13 degrees, so we can pass those clouds without any issues. The soundscape is really wonderful, isn't it? I absolutely love it. Those blue sky star sounds are really superb. The only thing that ever came close was the Flight Sim Labs Airbus, if you ask me. That one had really good sounds back in P3D as well. Okay, so QDR 161 outbound Burnham, and now we can switch this over. Like so. Now we can track it on ADF1, and we'll have the Midhurst radial 011 inbound in a few moments. So, it doesn't look turbulent to me. Let's release our passengers. And then, we don't really need any of those anymore, so let's clear them all out. Active the secondary, and the fix info page we can clear as well. Okay, cruise 250, optimum 359. Looks good. And we're out of the SID. Climb. A little confusing for me that it says Alt in blue and not Alt Cruise blue. because that's what it does on the wide-body Airbuses. On the small ones this is obviously correct, but once you're actually used to something, it's a little bit confusing, let's call it that way. Okay, I know that in London normally you don't get shortcuts, but I'm just thinking about maybe going direct to Hardy or something the likes. But it is quite close to our top of descent. Well, you know what, if we really want to climb up to level 250, then we better fly the route, because you can see how close the top of climb and the top of descent are over there. On the other hand side, I'm really wondering why Dispatch planned us at flight level 250, because obviously we really have no reason to go that high, just to get such a short cruise. Well, so be it. So we just continue along, and oh, what's that? Hydraulic, yellow reservoir, low level. Okay, plane flies fine. Ecam actions. Hydraulic yellow reservoir, low level. Okay, and indeed, the yellow reservoir is quite low. So, PTU off. PTU off. And yellow engine 2 pump off. Oh no, there's more stuff popping up. We're losing pressure on the yellow system. Okay, yellow engine 2 pump off. Hydraulic, yellow engine 2 pump off. Okay. Clear hydraulic. Clear hydraulic. Yellow engine 2 pump low pressure. Yeah, if we don't have pressure in the reservoir, that's what I'm expecting. Clear hydraulic. Clear hydraulic. Hydraulic, yellow system low pressure. Yep, that is what we see. Clear hydraulic. Clear hydraulic. Okay, flight controls. So what do we have down there? That's the yellow system. 2 spoilers on each side that are inoperative. Pitch trim, rudder, and the right-hand elevator. Okay, well that's all associated. Clear flight controls? Clear flight controls. Status. Stop ecam. Okay, so that's a quick look. Do we have any normal procedures to go? No. Can we do computer reset? No. Engine relight? No. Okay, continue ecom. So, status. Landing distance procedure apply. Flaps slow. Cat 3 single only. Inoperative systems. Yellow hydraulic. Spoiler 2 and 4. Cat 3 dual. Nose wheel steering. Reverser 2. Yaw damper 2. Okay, that nose wheel steering over there is unfortunate, because it means we'll be stuck on the runway when we land. Okay. Remove status? Remove status. Ecam actions complete. Okay, so we just got ourselves a little bit of work. Top of descent in 50 miles. Well, okay, they said landing distance procedure apply. Let's see if we got that over here. So, reset that, please. Let's just about grab the latest weather. Okay, get me those, please. Here we go. Thank you. So, what do they say there? 260 at 6, slightly variable, showers in the vicinity, 24 degrees, 1009, temporarily 2000 meters and thunderstorms. Okay. And our alternate obviously is the same. Well, that's not very good. Okay, let's see though. Generally speaking, the airplane flies fine. We are even still in normal law. We don't even have direct law here. So the airplane has no problem with it whatsoever. The only thing here is we need to calculate landing performance. So let's see. 260 at 6, 24, 1009. That's what we have. Let's call it a wet runway. You know what? I'm even gonna go for 1/4 water. Anti-ice no. Landing weight is okay. Config. It didn't tell us anything, did it? No, that's all fine. Only the flaps are slow to drive, but they are gonna come out. Okay. But, the way I see it, we don't have any non-normals in here, do we? No. Okay, that's unfortunate. Then we can't do the landing distance procedure. But alright, it is what it is. Okay. So be it, we can live with it. And that is it really. Okay, so, landing distance, yeah well, 1,700 meters margin. Our braking isn't going to be impaired strong enough that we are going to have a lot more, even if we were able to apply the landing distance procedure. That's fine. Flaps will be slow, okay, Cat 3 single, and we don't have a nose wheel steering. That means we gotta stop on the runway and we'll have to have the airplane towed off. So let's take a quick moment to think about stuff. I'll star, by the way, I'll cruise. Is there any sense to fly back to Heathrow, or shall we continue? Well, generally, I'm just following guidance of my old company here. Obviously, in an airline like British Airways, things might be a little bit different. But in my old company, the philosophy was, if you can safely continue to destination, do so. So that's what I'm following here. Seeing that, well, weather isn't that good, but then again, it doesn't have to be. Our airplane isn't really that impaired by the handling. We just lost 1 out of 3 hydraulic systems, so that is alright. Well, let's continue to destination. And, yeah, I don't see any reason not to. Okay, cool. Now with that decision made, let's go ahead and prepare for the arrival over at Paris. Obviously, things are gonna get quite rushed now. Once we have to start the descent, then briefing in the descent, then maybe re-evaluating. That's just unfortunate if something happens on such a short flight. So, B-Box 9 Papa arrival. We have that somewhere. Here we go, B-Box 9 Papa. Perfect. B-Box below 240, and then Marlboro flight level 70250 knots. Okay. Where is Paris? Down here. So that's really low, really far out. But that is okay. Then, which transition do we have? Of course it doesn't tell us over here, then let's go here. Okay. Marlboro 6 Whiskey. We have that somewhere here? If I miss it, do put it in the comments. But I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. Okay, well, for now that's alright. Let's go ahead and get... What's that thing doing? Okay, get me that approach chart. Oh, interesting. So here they are. Okay, perfect. Marlboro 6 Whiskey. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, that is definitely what we're looking for. Then for an ILS approach 26 right. Like so. Okay, last one, we need taxi charts as well. Obviously we've got a huge airport here, so quite a lot of charts. Okay, so charts for runway 26, that's what we want. And then finally we need some parking stands as well. Terminal 2. Yeah, perfect, that's what we need. Okay, then we can close this. Alright. So let's quickly enter the most important stuff over here. Topper descent reached, okay. Well, let's start the descent. Initially, let's say level 150. Thrust idle descent, alt flight level 150 blue. So next up is going to be debugs below level 240 and then Mobro at flight level 70, and we'll intercept the path in a few moments, as we can see by that symbol over here, so that is alright. Okay, cool. So, let's run over this. We basically checked all that stuff already. Do we need any VORs? No, it's all RNAV, okay. So, landing 26 right, that's what we wanted. Then QNH 1009. Temperature 24 and 260 at 6. We do not enter variable winds, by the way. We just keep that as it is. Okay. So what else do we need? A minimums. 580. Like so. And then finally landing performance. I don't see any reason not to use flaps full, because we'll have a little bit longer landing run anyway than we need, so that's fine. Also, we don't want to use reversers. Did I calculate them? Yeah, let's keep them off. 2062 meters. Still fine. Plenty of margin. But I am going to do a flap full landing just to minimize landing speed a little bit. Okay, extra fuel, 50 minutes. And we can copy that and prepare 27 left on here, just in case we get the other runway. The rest of the stuff can stay as it is. Yeah, all of that can stay as it is. Auto brakes low, that's all noted. Okay, perfect. Cool, so let's descend to level 70, as they want us to, and then we can start with the approach briefing. Okay, Mora for the arrival. Give me that chart, please. Mora for the arrival. 4,000 keeps us basically safe all the way around. We can see it's 3.5 close to the airport, 4,000 in the approach sector. Okay, we are coming in via the deluxe arrival and the mobile transition for an ILS approach runway 26 right. The minimum is barometric 518. Go around trajectory. Fairly simple on this one. Papa Golf 432, Papa Golf 433, climbing to an altitude of 4,000 feet, which is confirmed against the chart as well. Okay, extra fuel as set, we've got plenty, 49 minutes, 1.7 ton. Alright, guidance for the approach is going to be radar vectored for an ILS, and landing flaps full, stop margin. Yeah, that's a little bit of a thing there. We calculated 1,700. It is going to be a little bit less due to the hydraulic problem that we have. Reversers will not be used, since the right-hand reverser is inoperative on the yellow system, and the auto brakes will be used on low. Planned runway exit, we can't, so we are just going to stay on the runway. However, for the purpose of the video, once we have extended the flaps, once we're on short final, I'm probably going to clear the failure, just so that we are able to taxi off the runway again. But you know what? I'm actually going to make the landing with a failure in, and only then I'm going to clear it in order to enable us to taxi off the runway. Okay, hotspots, I do not really see any. Special operations, we do have slow flaps due to our hydraulic failure, so we are just going to configure a little bit earlier and we'll fly the approach, well, not as an early stabilized, but we are going to stabilize it a little bit earlier than what we would normally do. Threats for the arrival? Well, airplane controllability on the runway might be a little bit of a thing. We need to keep in mind that we have some thunderstorms in the area, so there is a chance that if we do get some strong gusts, we might have some directional control problems at slow speeds due to the inoperative nose wheel steering. So we're just going to bring the airplane to a standstill, and that's it. After that, I'm going to clear the failure so that we can continue with our taxi in. Okay, and that's really it. Any questions? No questions? Perfect. Then I'm going to do a very quick PA to the passengers so that they know that we are landing as well. I don't see any need to even tell the cabin crew about the problem. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome again from flight deck, your first officer speaking. We started our descent to Paris and the remaining flight time is now in the region of approximately 20 minutes. Weather in Paris at the moment, a couple of rain showers in the proximity of the airport, so we do hope that you brought your umbrellas. But apart from that, the weather in Paris is good, 24 degrees centigrade, and just some light winds from the west at the moment. Thank you very much for choosing British Airways. We do hope that you enjoyed your stay on board, and we look forward to welcoming you again on board a future British Airways flight. And with that, thank you very much for flying. We wish you a nice and safe continuous journey, and hope to see you again very soon. Well, certainly if I'm playing with my British accent a little bit more, then I don't think we're going to see any of those again. But let's just keep it at that. Okay, sorry, I had to. Alright, let's take a small shortcut, direct Bravo Oscar Victor. Like so. And that lifts the Marlboro restriction. So speed is coming back. And that's fine. And look at how low on the profile we are all of a sudden. 13,400 feet. So basically it wouldn't even want us to start the descent at all yet. I mean, if you look at the distance that we still have to fly, then you can see that both arrivals are really, really low. And I have no clue why they're doing it like that in Paris. I mean, I know there's a lot of different airports in the area. You have Charles de Gaulle, Beauvais, Orly, and so many more. So yeah, if they want us to fly that, they want us to fly that. Come on, let's level off for a second, just to be sure that we don't speed for too long below 10,000. That looks better. Okay then. Lights on, signs on, constraints, ILS. Like so. GPS primary, mode selected, normal. That's it. Let's do 500 feet a minute. No need to go down any faster than we actually have to. And what is that company message we still have over here? Probably the weather, I suppose. We just took it straight from the printer. Yeah, we did. Okay, so that's just the weather. That is fine. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to actually contact our company through this. Normally, obviously, if we have a failure like that with the hydraulics, then we would absolutely send the company an SMS to ask them like, hey, do you want us to continue to Paris? Do we have maintenance there? Or do you want us to return to Heathrow? Whatever is better for the company, and that is what's ultimately going to happen then. However, at least in my old company's operation, we didn't have an ACAS, so we couldn't ask them anything, and for that reason they brought up some strict philosophies, like if it is safe to continue to destination, then we are absolutely going to do so. And now if we think a moment about if it is safe to continue with an hydraulic failure like what we have, if we check the status page over here, then you will see that there is a couple of systems inoperative, but the airplane is perfectly capable to fly. As you can see, we're still even in normal law and not even in alternate law, so control-wise there is no problem. The engines are running. It's just 1 out of 3 hydraulic systems that have failed. Talking about hydraulic systems, what you will notice in the Airbuses is the green hydraulic system is the one that has most things attached to it. The yellow system and the blue system, they have some things attached to it, like the blue system has the slats, the yellow system has the flaps, and for that reason we get the flaps slow message over here. However, both of them are also driven by the green hydraulic system. So the slats and the flaps, both of them, are driven both by the green and by either the blue or the yellow, depending if you're talking about slabs or flaps. And for that reason, we don't really have too much of a problem. The two things that impact us the most over here is nose wheel steering inoperative and reverser number 2 inoperative. So reverser number 2, well, the engine number 2 reverser is powered by the yellow system, the engine number 1 reverser is powered by the blue system. So obviously one of them is inoperative, and I do want to avoid using the other. We can, it is safely possible to do so, but I kind of want to avoid using the other because it is going to give us asymmetrical thrust. And thinking that we have a runway that is probably contaminated, in any case wet, because there have been recent thunderstorms, and depending on how strong they are, if the puddles are too deep, then you know, might be a little bit of an issue there with directional control. However, luckily the anti-skid is still working, so we don't need to worry about anti-skid, which is definitely going to help on the approach. And we also still have one working reverser. However, especially thinking reverser, you know, if we do get a little bit of aquaplaning there on the runway, then if you have one reverser fully open and the other inoperative, then that is the problem. So that can really cause you trouble in terms of directional control. Okay, 1000 to go, checked. And obviously that is something that we want to avoid. For that reason, I'm just keeping my thrust reversers in idle. If we do have stopping problems, we can at any point pull them. However, if we take a moment to think about the stopping problems we might have, if we look at the status page, we see landing distance procedure apply. In the Airbus language, that basically means you're going to need more runway than usual. Do some mathematics for me. And the only thing that really impacts us here is the reverser. Since we still have our normal brakes, keep in mind the normal brakes are run through the green hydraulic system. So we do have normal brakes available, and the only thing that really impacts us is the reversers. For that reason, going over to our landing performance, I selected reverser off, and that gives me a factored landing distance of 2062 meters, which is plenty for what we want to do, for how we are going to fly. For that reason, I do consider the landing distance procedure applied over here. Something else that we should always do when we have time available, and now we do, because now, you know, we're on a long straight flight, so we do have a bit of time available now, and it is always a good idea. The ECAM basically tells you anything you need in order to safely handle the malfunction, but the FCOM and the Flight Crew Techniques Manual are often going to have some additional information for us that could prove really helpful. In this case, if we look into the FCOM for the failure that we originally had, the hydraulic reservoir low level, then it tells us first of all when it triggers, if the fluid quantity is less than 3.5 liters, and it tells us PTU off, yellow engine 2 pump off, yellow electric pump off, and that the ECAM did not tell us, brake yellow accumulator pressure monitor. Now that's down here on the accumulator pressure. So that one we need to monitor. Now the ECAM didn't tell us, because in case something happened over here, it would probably cause us another ECAM alert. However, there is some additional information for that in the FCOM, and it basically says, brake yellow accumulator pressure monitor. This check is recommended to cover the case of a pipe rupture, which could lead to the simultaneous loss of the hydraulic system and the accumulator fluid. If this occurs, the loss of the accumulator should be observed on the indicator within 10 minutes. In that case, the only remaining braking means is normal braking using green pressure. The parking brake should not be used since it is not available, and the chocks should be in place before engine 1 shutdown. Now, we don't have that problem. As you can see, our accumulator pressure is fine. However, if we did have the problem, then we should keep in mind the parking brake should not be used as it is not available, since it is driven off the yellow system here in the A320. So no parking brake. And the chocks should be in place before engine 1 shutdown. Now that is obviously something to think about, because it means that ground staff have to approach the airplane while the engine is still running and need to put some chocks in place. Now, depending on the airline, they might just put the chocks in place on the right hand side. So we taxi in, we shut down the number 2 engine, and only then they can approach the airplane from the right hand side. And then maybe put the chocks in place on the right main gear and on the nose gear, shut down engine number 1 and then put them in place on the left main gear. But that is going to be defined by airline policy. So every airline is going to have a different policy if that is supposed to be done or not. And good communication therefore is key to avoid any potential danger to the ground crew, which certainly is a possibility thinking about the malfunction that we have at the moment. What's also good is that the FCOM is going to tell us the associated procedures and what we should expect on the status page. So depending on the amount of failures that we may or may not have, we could, for example, have a fuel consumption increased warning on the status page. We don't have that because everything is working normal. Like, look at the flight controls, you can see everything is working, there are no spoilers extended, and so on. But depending on the kind of failure you have, you may, for example, get a deflected aileron or something the likes, or maybe spoiler panel might be deflected. And then there are tables in the quick reference handbook that are going to tell you the factor by which fuel consumption is increased. Also, we might get an FMS prediction unreliable message in case we get increased fuel consumption. The Airbus FMS is capable to take into account engine failures and do appropriate fuel calculation if you lose an engine, but it cannot do adjusted fuel calculation for any other malfunction. So again, something to keep in mind, because there is a chance that you might run into something the likes. Apart from that, according to the FCOM, we are looking at the following inoperative systems. Let's compare that with the TOLIS and see how accurate it is. Yellow hydraulic, we do have that. Spoilers 2 and 4, we have that. Cat 3 dual, we have that. Nose wheel steering, we do have that. Reverser 2, we have that. Now, in the FCOM over here, it says we should get a cargo door alert on the inop systems as well. We do not get that on here. Remember, in the Airbus, the cargo doors are driven off the yellow hydraulic system, so we should expect a cargo door alert on the inop systems over here as well. And then we have yaw damper 2, according to the FCOM, and again we do have that on the inop systems on the status page here as well. So, except for the cargo doors, the thing is handling it quite accurately. A last note over there in terms of the fuel consumption increased. Those things can happen, but they must not happen. There are many possible failure combinations where they do not happen, as we see right now. And there are other combinations where they might happen. Think about, for example, what if we used the speed brake while the failure occurred? It wasn't the case, but just think about what might happen. If we did use the speed brake while the failure occurred, then maybe those panels that are shown inoperative right now might still be deflected. And that is why there is a chance of that happening, and that is why that stuff is in the AFCOM. If that was the case, we would get the associated ECAM alerts as well. We don't get them because the airplane basically was in clean configuration while the malfunction occurred. Alright, so that's pretty much that, and I would say we can go ahead. We are basically on radar vector here, so let's go heading and extend the center line so that we get some better guidance here. Okay, that's the Charlie Fox. The opposite course is 060, radial in, insert. Well, no, that's not correct. Let's redo that. So, radial indirect, the opposite course is 080, of course. See, that's why it helps to cross-check your inputs on the flight plan page. And if we're looking for the exact runway course, it's 264, so 084. Should give us... yeah, that looks like an extended center line, doesn't it? Okay, insert. Adjust desired heading on track. No thanks, we're just gonna pull it out again. And that's it. Clear. Okay. So that should be pretty much all. Let's go ahead and continue our descent. Let's go down to... I believe the platform is 4,000. Let's check that once again. Yeah, the platform is 4,000. Let's go all the way down. Thrust ILO, descend alt, flight level 40 blue. ZQNH 1009. QNH 1009 cross-check, passing 6,800. Now. Checked. Approach checklist. Barrel ref, QNH 1009, seatbelts on, minimum, barrel 518, auto brake, low, engine start selector, normal, approach checklist complete. So we aren't gonna do a CDA over here, but that is fine with me, you know. With the procedures as they are designed in Paris, you don't really do that. Okay, right hand turn, heading 160. We can even turn heading 170, so that we have a nice and appropriate base. 1,000 to go. Speed, vertical speed. Ooh, that looks nice. Getting out of the clouds. The scenery from Auto Ortho is really good as well. I would probably not want to fly this without Auto Ortho. Let's go heading 180, gets us in a little bit closer even. Still got 20 knots pushing us from the right, but that's fine. Okay, down to 4,000. So time to do a little bit of sightseeing. Maybe we can find some croissants lying around. Okay, I do apologize for those. Pardon. I'll stop. Still, I find it strange that they do it like this in Paris. I mean, yeah. We can say hello to all the arms down there. And sure enough, that is going to be not so good for noise and stuff like that as well, is it? Okay, let's turn heading 200. Like so. On the more positive side though, at least we get a nice sightseeing. We gotta keep that in mind as well, do we? Alright, so, when we are going to extend the first flaps, we need to keep in mind the flaps are slow, and we need to keep in mind that the status page is going to pop out. That is not going to show us anything new, unless a new system failed. So, the in-op systems we see on here are a live set of in-op systems that the airplane detects. So if anything new fails, it is going to show up over there. But what we do need to keep in mind, after all, is that the status page is going to plop out once we extend the flaps. So don't be surprised about that. Just have another look over it, see if there is any procedure that you need to apply, stuff like that. And then you can simply command your colleague to remove the status page again. And that's about all you need to do then. So, something I still find a little bit unfortunate in X-Plane is that, look at this, we are currently like 19 miles out. We already received the ILS identifier, but only now at 19 miles we start receiving signals from the localizer and glide slope. Now, in real life that works quite a bit better. Okay, right turn heading 230, cleared ILS. Glide slope localizer blue, Cat 3 single, autopilot 1 and 2. Cat 3 single, remember looking at the status page, Cat 3 single only. We do not have Cat 3 dual capability anymore due to the inoperative nose wheel steering. Lock star. Okay, let's start slowing down a little bit. Approach phase is active. the localizer now. It's overshooting a bit. Normally it shouldn't do that. Lock. Look at that. The moment localizer mode went from star into full localizer mode, it actually turned us out a bit. Okay, flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. And that's what I meant. The status page is plopping up. Again, landing distance procedure. Flaps slow. Cat 3 single. Okay, fine. I'll wait until we are like 10 miles out, then I'm going to extend flaps 2. And keep in mind, flaps 1 only gets the slats out, flaps 2 also gets the flaps out. And that's going to take a little bit longer than usual. But we've got a nice headwind helping us out, so we can easily fly it onto the glide slope like this. No problem at all. Glide slope star. Go on, altitude 4000 set. Alright, 12 knots out, 200 knots ground speed already, that's good. Glide slope. Miles. Look at how close we are to the flap speed, or to the VFE next, but you don't need to worry about that. Flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2. So let's see how slow or not they are going to be this time. But that looks alright, doesn't it? That definitely looks alright to me. And they're out. Perfect. All we could ask for. So I'm going to drop the gear when we reach 2000 AGL, as we normally would during standard operations, and then flap 3, flap full is going to go quite quick, since we at that point will be below VFE next already. So that should really be all the measures we need to take for this. Even though the speed does struggle a bit, the wind is kinda dying off. Yeah, gear down. Let's not mess with it. The last thing I want to risk is a go around because I wanted to save another 20 kilos of fuel. Okay, flap 3. Speed check, flap 3. Cabin is ready. Flaps full. Speed check, flaps full. Landing checklist. Decam memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Okay, cool. And that's it. Annual flight. So, on the LEAP1A engines, you don't need that much thrust on the final. Typically something around 53–54%, depending on your weight, is absolutely going to do. Sometimes you might need a little bit more depending on the wind conditions. But normally, something around 55% or so at the max landing weight should really be all you need. So the wind is still pushing us a little bit. Okay, down there you can nicely see the VOR that our nose just went over. Land. Checked.
300. Minimum.
Continue. So the wind is blowing our nose around a little bit, but that is fine.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Okay, reverse engine 1. Partial spoilers, decel. I do need quite a bit of right-hand rudder right now in order to keep that plane anywhere close to the center line. And you can really feel how the nose steering gets less effective as we lose speed. Okay, I'm going to stop it here, and then we are going to clear the malfunction so that we can take the exit. Okay, here we are. So, let's quickly go into the tow list, open, fault scenarios, delete, apply. Let's hope that this is actually going to refill our hydraulics. Probably doesn't. No? Okay, can we refill that somehow? That is of course the one thing I should have checked before I even... Yeah, that's probably the one thing I should have checked before even starting this. Okay, of course we can't. Can we? Somewhere? No, okay. Well, okay, in that case, you can however see that even though I'm applying full rudder, you can see the nose wheel steering doesn't respond. So it's actually modeled. Okay, well, in that case, we are going to stop it right over here. We need to get a tug to tow us off. So, park and brake. We do still have accumulator pressure, so we can use that. But you can see how the pressure reduced now, since we applied the park and brakes. Okay, let's go ahead and start up the APU. And then we're going to do the normal cleanup work. We'll shut the engines down up here on the runway. And then they'll get us a tow truck to the gate. Okay, after landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. So if anybody knows a way how we can refill those hydraulics, please do put it in the comments, as that would be much appreciated. Okay, APU, how are you doing? Starting up. Very good. So, basically only this is the moment where our cabin crew actually would need to be informed that we had a malfunction. Obviously, we would have told them in flight before if we were not able to vacate the runway and stuff like that. But, you know, until this point, the aircraft basically flew totally fine with an hydraulic system out. Okay, APU avail, then let's shut down engine number 2 first. And since our park and brake still is available, engine number 1 can go with it. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Okay, engines coming down. Beacon off, waiting for the slides to be disarmed, and then we can turn off the seatbelt sign. Even though, obviously, in this particular situation, we would of course keep them seated until we are off the runway and at the gate. Okay, parking checklist. Park and brake on trucks. brake set, engines, off, wing light, off, fuel pumps, off, parking checklist complete. Alright, and that's it, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Now, they are actually opening the cargo doors there. Interesting, how did they do it? Using the manual pump? Okay, in any case, I believe the system logic is probably not meant for that. So, that is going to be it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you liked that little surprise that we encountered. Still, I hope that you made full use of the purpose of the video, listening to the LEAP1A sounds of the Blue Sky Star Soundpack for the Tolis A320neo. And I hope that I had a nice little surprise there for you as well. So, leave a like if you did like the video. Comment to let me know what you think about it, and if you think I should integrate something like this into my videos more often. And finally, if you are up for more, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you really like what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. And in the meantime, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. See you all again on the next one, and enjoy whichever airplane you are currently flying.